Sawadee-krap. Thank you for joining us for the evening edition of NBT World Brief, right here on NBT and NBT World. You're with me, Nat Nakabisut. The Joint Management and Monitoring Center for the Situation in the Middle East has stressed urgent efforts to assist Thai nationals in the region, while assuring the public that the fuel and essential goods remain sufficient. In its briefing today, the Joint Center said fighting in the Middle East continues to expand, with attacks targeting key infrastructure in several countries. Thailand Ministry of Foreign Affairs has urged all sides to return to dialogue and diplomacy, while also stressing the importance of protecting civilians and maritime routes through the Strait of Hormuz. The Royal Thai Embassy in Tel Aviv is coordinating with Israeli authorities to repatriate the body of a Thai national. Authorities are also coordinating with Oman and Iran to assist 3 Thai crew members aboard the vessel Mayuri Nari, with both countries expressing readiness to help. Meanwhile, the Department of Energy Business said it is monitoring global oil prices daily and has allowed fuel tankers to transport fuel 24 hours a day to speed up distribution to petrol stations nationwide. The Ministry of Energy is also preparing new regulations requiring fuel traders to clearly display both retail prices and remaining fuel stocks at refineries, at depots, to improve transparency. At the same time, the Ministry of Commerce has inspected more than 2,000 businesses nationwide and found only a small number of violating price display rules. Legal actions have already been taken against these vendors. The government has ordered nationwide inspections at fuel stations, with the Department of Provincial Administration and the Royal Thai Police deploying officers to prevent fuel hoarding. Following orders from Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul, authorities have stepped up inspections at petrol stations across the country to ensure a stable fuel supply for the public. The Department of Provincial Administration has instructed all provincial governors to closely monitor fuel stations in their areas. Stations have been told to report their remaining fuel supplies twice a day, allowing officials to monitor the situation in a more timely manner. If any station suspends service or claims it has run out of fuel without a clear reason, officials will immediately inspect storage tanks and take legal action if hoarding is found. The Royal Thai Police has launched a nationwide operation focusing on 3 key areas, namely tightening security along border areas to stop fuel smuggling, working with local authorities to inspect stations that have closed or report shortages, and checking fuel quality to prevent illegal mixing or price manipulation. The Prime Minister has also assigned Deputy Prime Minister Pipat Ratchakit Prakan to closely monitor enforcement and ensure fuel distributors comply with the measures as the government moves to mitigate the impacts from the global energy crisis on the general public. The Energy Regulatory Commission of Thailand is preparing new measures to help reduce electricity costs from the May to August billing period if the Middle East conflict pushes energy prices even higher. The Secretary General of the Energy Regulatory Commission, Mr. Poonpat Lee Sombat Phaiboon, said prolonged fighting in the Middle East has pushed up prices of liquefied natural gas, or LNG, and is beginning to affect Thailand, which relies heavily on imported LNG for electricity generation. He said the situation, combined with the weaker Thai baht against the US dollar, could lead to an increase in the fuel adjustment tariff, or FT, for the next electricity billing cycle from May to August. To reduce the impact on consumers, the regulator is considering using so-called clawback funds from the 3 state electricity utilities, namely the Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand, the Metropolitan Electricity Authority, and the Provincial Electricity Authority. The move could help lower electricity costs by about 13 stang per unit. Authorities are also adjusting the power generation plan by increasing production from domestic sources such as the BANGKOK power plant and natural gas from the Gulf of Thailand, as well as importing more electricity from Laos, which has lower costs than imported LNG.
ทางกกพ.เองเนี่ยท่านก็ได้มีดำรินะครับแล้วก็ได้สั่งการออกไปแล้วนะครับว่าอยากจะให้ทางกกพ.เนี่ยทบทวนที่จะนำโรงไฟฟ้าเก่าๆโรงไฟฟ้าเก่าของที่แม่เมาะเนี่ยให้กลับมาใช้ได้ใหม่แล้วก็เร่งในการที่จะขุดหาแหล่งลิกไนท์นะครับซึ่งเป็นแหล่งที่เรามีเองภายในประเทศเนี่ยเพื่อมาชดเชยการใช้พลังงานที่อาจจะมีต้นทุนที่ถูกกว่าการใช้แก๊สในช่วงเวลานี้ครับเราก็มีแต่เฉพาะเงินในส่วนที่เป็นเงิน clawback หรือที่เรียกว่าเงินส่วนเกินที่เหลือจากการลงทุนนะครับของ3การไฟฟ้านะครับที่มีอยู่ในการที่จะช่วยชะลอนะครับในการที่จะช่วยชะลอแล้วก็ผ่อนคลายผลกระทบเหล่านั้นให้น้อยลงนะครับ
The regulator is also encouraging greater use of renewable energy, including biomass and solar power, while urging the public to use electricity more efficiently during the ongoing global energy uncertainty. The Department of Internal Trade has met with major consumer goods manufacturers to assess the impact of the Middle East conflict and prevent price increases. The Director General of the Department of Internal Trade, Mr. Witthayakon Maninet, held talks with leading companies, including Unilever, Procter & Gamble, Nestle, also Sapa and Dutch Mill, to evaluate rising production costs linked to oil prices and transport, especially plastic packaging and bottles. The companies said product stocks remain sufficient and prices can be maintained at least until April, while the government is coordinating with other agencies to reduce production and packaging costs and secure alternative sources of raw materials. The department is also preparing stricter controls on 6 essential goods, including tissue papers, shampoo, detergent, dishwashing liquid, sanitary pads, and soap. Under the proposed measures, a company would need government approval before raising prices, instead of only notifying authorities. Further discussions will take place next week before the measures are submitted to the Central Price Committee for approval, as the government moves to protect consumers if impacts from the situation in the Middle East worsen. The Learning Fest Bangkok 2026 is taking place this weekend, with large numbers of children and their parents taking part in creative learning activities. The event is being held by the Thailand Knowledge Park Institute, or TK Park, under the theme, The Difference, the more different, the more we learn, featuring workshops, board games, creative writing sessions, art exhibitions, and live performances. Highlights include a workshop that turns recycled materials, such as cardboard, rubber bands, and beads into new toys, allowing children to learn through creativity while helping them build imagination and practical skills. Parents who brought their children to the event says the activities help encourage creativity, critical thinking, and family participation, while also praising the teachers and organizers for creating an engaging learning experience. The festival continues tomorrow at TK Park, located at Central World Shopping Center in Bangkok, where more workshops and games are planned for young participants and families. And that wraps up this edition of NBT World Brief. Stay updated with the latest developments right here on NBT and NBT World. For more stories, simply scan the QR code on your screen to access our full coverage across all media platforms. Until next time, สวัสดีครับ